Commander Do-hyun stared at the screen, his face lit by its blue glow. The signal was unlike anything he had seen before. It pulsed in strange patterns, coming from deep space beyond Pluto. "Sir, the signal is getting stronger," said the young officer next to him. Do-hyun nodded, his eyes never leaving the screen. For 20 years, he had led South Korea's space defense program. Now, at age 53, he faced what could be humanity's greatest test. "Call Dr. Han," he ordered, "and get me the president." Dr. Han arrived at the command center within an hour, her hair still messy from sleep. She was the best physicist in Asia, maybe the world. If anyone could make sense of the signal, it was her. "I've never seen energy patterns like this," she said, studying the data. "This is not natural, and it's not from Earth." Do-hyun's phone rang. The president was calling back. "Mr. President, I believe we have first contact with an alien species," he said simply, "and they're heading toward Earth." Captain Jisoo was about to complete her mission near Mars when the order came. Her ship, the ESS Horizon, was Earth's fastest vessel. "Return to Earth immediately," the message read. "This is not a drill." Jisoo gathered her crew. "We're going home. Full speed." The Horizon turned, its engines glowing bright as it raced back to Earth. Jisoo felt a mix of fear and duty. Whatever was happening, she would face it head-on. Within days, world leaders met at the United Nations. The signals were now visible on public telescopes. Large objects, clearly ships, were moving through the solar system. "They'll reach Earth in 5 days," Do-hyun told the emergency meeting. "We need to unite. Now." For once, countries didn't argue. The United Earth Defense Protocol was activated. Military forces around the world prepared for the unknown. Dr. Han worked without sleep, analyzing the approaching fleet. "There are 23 large vessels and over 100 smaller ones," she reported. "Their technology is far beyond ours." Do-hyun looked at the models. "Can we fight them?" Dr. Han was quiet for a moment. "We can try." Captain Jisoo brought the Horizon into Earth orbit, just as the alien fleet reached the moon. Her ship, designed for scientific missions, was hastily fitted with experimental weapons. "All crews at battle stations," she ordered. "Let's show them Earth isn't defenseless." At his daughter's university, Do-hyun found Soo-min in the linguistics lab. At 19, she was already the top student in xenolinguistics, the study of possible alien languages. "Dad," she said, surprised to see him in full military uniform. "We need you," he said. "The aliens are trying to communicate." The first message came to every device on Earth at once. In perfect languages from English to Swahili to Korean, the voice was cold and mechanical. "We are the Voidborn. We have conquered 70% of known space. Your planet is now under our control. Surrender all weapons and resources. Resistance will result in extinction." Do-hyun, watching from command center, felt a chill. But also something else. Determination. "Send our reply," he told the communications officer. "This is Earth. We choose to talk first. We invite you to peaceful discussion." The response came quickly. "Talking is for equals. You are not our equals." 3 small Voidborn ships broke from the fleet and descended toward Earth. "They're coming to test us," Dr. Han said. Do-hyun nodded. "Then let's give them something to think about." He issued orders across the global defense network. Captain Jisoo moved the Horizon into position. Earth's hidden defenses, built in secret for decades, powered up. The Voidborn thought Earth would be an easy conquest. They were about to learn their first lesson about humans. Never underestimate a species that has spent its entire history fighting itself. The first battle for Earth was about to begin. The Voidborn scout ship hovered over Seoul. It was smaller than the main ships but still massive, 1/2 mile long and black as space itself. 2 more scout ships positioned themselves over New York and Beijing. Inside the Seoul Command Center, Commander Do-hyun watched the screens with calm eyes. Years of military training had taught him to hide fear. "They're scanning us," Dr. Han said, looking at her instruments. "Every radar station, every power plant, every military base." "Let them look," Do-hyun replied. "Operation Shadow Screen is ready." Aboard the scout ship, the alien known as the Evaluator studied the data flowing in. The Evaluator had assessed 42 planets before Earth. All now served the Voidborn. Primitive weapons, basic space travel abilities, nuclear power still in use. The Evaluator noted. A Class 3 resistance planet at most. The Evaluator's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of dismissal in Voidborn culture. "They play with tools they do not understand," it said to its crew. "Prepare the full assessment report." In a university lab converted to a military facility, Su-min worked with other young linguists. Her fingers flew across her keyboard as she decoded more Voidborn transmissions. "Dad, I have something," she called Do-hyun. "They're classifying Earth as Class 3 resistance. From what I can gather, that means they think they only need a small force to beat us." Do-hyun smiled slightly. "Good. Let them keep thinking that." Captain Jisoo kept the horizon hidden behind the moon. Her crew was nervous but ready. "The scout ships don't know we're here," her second-in-command said. "That's our advantage," Jisoo replied. "We'll use it when the time comes." Dr. Han worked with a global team of scientists on a secret project. They had built a system to feed false data to the Voidborn scanners. "It's working," she told Do-hyun over a secure line. "Their scans show our missile bases with half the actual missiles. Our naval fleets appear smaller. Our air forces look outdated." "What about the energy shield project?" Do-hyun asked. "We're hiding it completely. As far as they can tell, Earth has no shield technology at all." Do-hyun nodded. "Keep it that way." The Evaluator compiled its report for the Voidborn High Command. The data showed a planet with decent technology but limited defenses, easy to conquer. Humans appear to value individual life highly, the Evaluator noted. "This weakness can be exploited. Once we destroy a few major cities, they will surrender to prevent further loss." The report was sent to the main fleet. The Evaluator received orders immediately. Begin the first wave attack. Su-min found her father in the command center late that night. He was studying maps and battle plans. "I decoded more of their communications," she said. "They're planning to attack tomorrow. They're aiming for our military bases first." Do-hyun put his hand on his daughter's shoulder. "You've done well. Now go to the shelter." "I want to stay and help," she argued. "You will help more by staying safe," he said firmly. "I can't lead if I'm worried about you." Reluctantly, Su-min nodded. As morning broke over Earth, the scout ships moved into attack positions. The main Voidborn fleet began to advance from behind the moon. They didn't notice the horizon slip away from its hiding place, carrying Captain Jisoo and her crew on a dangerous mission. They didn't realize Dr. Han had created a shield technology that could withstand their weapons. They didn't know Commander Do-hyun had united Earth's military forces in a way never done before. The Voidborn prepared to attack a planet they saw as weak and primitive. It would be the biggest mistake they had made in 1,000 years of conquest. Earth was ready, and Earth would fight back. The Voidborn attack began at dawn. Their ships moved into position above major military bases around the world. Green beams of energy shot down from the sky, aiming to destroy Earth's defenses in one swift strike. But something unexpected happened. The beams hit invisible barriers and scattered. Hidden shield generators, built in secret over the past decade, sprang to life around key locations. In the Seoul Command Center, Commander Do-hyun watched calmly. "Shields holding at 87%, an officer reported. "Begin counterattack," Do-hyun ordered. "All bases, follow Plan Alpha." Around the world, missile silos opened. But these weren't ordinary missiles. They carried special warheads designed by Dr. Han's team, weapons the Voidborn couldn't detect until it was too late. The missiles rose toward the alien ships. The Voidborn, confident in their superior technology, barely bothered to evade them. Primitive rockets, the evaluator said from the command ship. They cannot penetrate our. The evaluator never finished. The missiles exploded before hitting the ships, releasing clouds of tiny robots that attached to the Voidborn hulls. These nanobots began eating through the alien metal. Captain Jisoo guided the Horizon from behind the moon, approaching the rear of the Voidborn fleet. "They don't see us," she told her crew. "Fire when ready." The Horizon fired strange-looking torpedoes. These carried no explosives. Instead, they latched onto two Voidborn cruisers and sent powerful electric pulses through their systems. The cruisers went dark, their engines dead. The evaluator watched in shock as two cruisers drifted powerless. Reports came in of ship hulls being damaged by some unknown weapon. "Impossible," the evaluator said. "This is not Class 3 resistance." "6 of our ships report damage," a subordinate reported. "The humans have shields we did not detect. They have weapons our scanners missed." For the first time in a long career of conquest, the evaluator felt something new: doubt. Pull back to regroup. Send a message to High Command. In a research lab beneath Seoul, young engineer Ta-1 studied readings from the battle. "Sir," he called to his supervisor, "I found something important." On his screen, data showed a pattern. When Voidborn ships took damage, they emitted a unique energy signature. "It's like they're bleeding energy when hurt," Ta-1 explained. "If we can track this signature, we can tell which ships are damaged. Maybe even target this weakness." His supervisor immediately called Commander Do-hyun. The Voidborn fleet retreated beyond the moon. The evaluator prepared a new report to High Command. "Earth requires a Class 2 response package," the evaluator wrote. "Their technology is more advanced than our scans indicated. Their resistance is organized. They have concealed capabilities." The report was sent. Soon, orders came back. "Class 2 response authorized. Failure will not be tolerated." The evaluator looked out at Earth, a blue jewel in the blackness of space. The planet would still fall, of course, but it would not be as easy as expected. Commander Do-hyun gathered his top officers. They had won the first battle, but the war was just beginning. "They'll return with more ships and stronger weapons," he told them. "We hurt them, but we also surprised them. We won't have that advantage again." Dr. Han joined the meeting via video link. "The good news is we know their shields can be penetrated. The bad news is they'll adapt quickly." Captain Jisoo reported from the Horizon. "We disabled 2 ships, but my vessel took damage. We need repairs before we can fight again." Do-hyun turned to the newest addition to his team, Ta-1, brought in after his discovery. "Tell them what you found," Do-hyun said. Ta-1 stepped forward nervously. "When Voidborn ships are damaged, they emit a special energy pattern. If we can build sensors to track this energy, we can find their weak spots." For the first time since the invasion began, Do-hyun smiled. "We have 3 days before they return," he said. "Let's make them count." Earth had won the first round. The real test was yet to come. 3 days later, the sky darkened as the Voidborn returned. This time, their fleet was 3 times larger. Massive ships, each the size of a small city, took position around Earth. "They're spreading out to surround the planet," reported an officer in the Seoul Command Center. Commander Do-hyun studied the displays. "They learned from last time. They won't bunch together where we can hit multiple ships at once." A command center shook as the first attacks hit Seoul. Outside, green beams cut through buildings. People ran screaming through the streets. "Shields failing over Western Seoul," someone shouted. Do-hyun grabbed the microphone. "All units, begin Operation Thunderbolt." Around the world, hidden weapons activated. Using Taiwan's discovery, they targeted the weak spots on Voidborn ships. Missiles and energy weapons fired from land, sea, and space. "They're tracking our energy leaks," the evaluator realized too late. All ships changed shield patterns. But the humans had anticipated this. Each weapon adjusted its target as the void-born defenses shifted. At her research facility, Dr. Han worked frantically. Her team had discovered how void-born shields operated. If they could complete their work, they might create a weapon to disable any void-born ship. A junior scientist burst into the lab. "They're targeting us. Void-born ships are directly above." Dr. Han looked at her computer. Her research was 95% complete. She needed 5 more minutes. "Everyone out," she ordered. "Get to the bunkers." "What about you?" the young scientist asked. "I need to finish this." "Go." As her team evacuated, Dr. Han typed faster than ever before. Outside, the void-born weapons charge. Captain Jisu's repaired ship rejoined the battle. The Horizon was now equipped with Dr. Han's latest shield technology. "Target the command vessel," Jisu ordered. The Horizon fired, its new weapons cutting through void-born defenses. The enemy command ship shuddered under the impact. Inside, the evaluator was thrown across the bridge. "Impossible. How did they penetrate our shields?" A message from Void-born High Command appeared. "Failure is unacceptable. Deploy planet crackers." The evaluator hesitated only briefly before entering the codes. Dr. Han saw the upload complete just as the building began to collapse. She hit send, transmitting her findings to Captain Jisu and Commander Do-hyun. Then the ceiling fell. Su-min worked with her team translating void-born communications when she intercepted an urgent message. "Planet crackers," she whispered, translating the unfamiliar term. Her eyes widened in horror. She immediately called her father. "Dad, they're sending weapons called planet crackers. From what I can translate, they can break apart the Earth's crust." Do-hyun's face paled. "How long do we have?" "They're launching from the moon base, maybe 1 hour before they reach Earth." Do-hyun made the hardest call of his life. "Jisu, we need the Horizon to intercept those planet crackers, no matter the cost." "Understood," came Captain Jisu's steady reply. "We're already moving." The command center received a final transmission from Dr. Han's lab. Do-hyun opened it immediately. "She did it," he said in amazement. "She found their weakness." He sent the data to Todwan. "Can you use this?" The young engineer studied the complex formulas. "Yes, but we need to adjust all our weapons. It will take time." "Time is the one thing we don't have," Do-hyun said. "The planet crackers are coming." He made a decision. "All forces engage in full attack. Give Captain Jisu the time she needs." The battle above Earth became desperate. Human forces threw everything they had at the Voidborn. The sky lit up with explosions, and racing away from Earth, the Horizon chased 5 small deadly missiles, the planet crackers that could end all human life. The fate of Earth now rested in Captain Jisu's hands. Captain Jisu's Horizon raced toward the 5 planet crackers. These weapons were small but powerful enough to break Earth apart. "We need to go faster," Jisu told her engineer. "Push the engines beyond safety limits." "That could kill us all," the engineer warned. "If those weapons reach Earth, we die anyway," Jisu said firmly. The Horizon's engines glowed bright blue as they pushed to dangerous speeds. Meanwhile, Todwan worked with engineers from around the world. Dr. Han's final research had revealed how void-born technology worked. Now they raced to use this knowledge. "We need to modify our satellites," Todwan told Commander Do-hyun. "If we can link them together, we can create a weapon that might stop the void-born fleet." "How long?" Do-hyun asked. 2 hours, Todwan replied. "The planet crackers will hit in 1 hour," Do-hyun said grimly. "We need to buy time." Do-hyun contacted every military force on Earth. "This is Commander Do-hyun. I am ordering a global attack on all void-born ships. Every missile, every jet, every weapon we have." Now, across the planet, humans launched everything they had. It wasn't about winning anymore. It was about giving Captain Jisu time to stop the planet crackers. The evaluator watched as human forces attacked with desperate courage. They know about the planet crackers, the evaluator realized. Yet they still fight instead of surrender. For the first time in a long career of conquest, the evaluator felt respect for an enemy. A junior officer approached. "Sir, a single human ship is pursuing the planet crackers." "Destroy it," the evaluator ordered, pushing aside the strange new feelings. The horizon shook as voidborn ships fired at it. Jisoo held onto her command chair. "First planet cracker in range," her weapons officer called out. "Fire," Jisoo ordered. The horizon's weapons struck the first planet cracker. It exploded in a flash of green light. "One down, 4 to go," Jisoo said. "But we're taking heavy damage." Part of the bridge exploded, killing 2 crew members. Jisoo ignored the blood running down her face from a cut on her forehead. "Keep firing." On Earth, Taiwan connected to satellite control centers in America, Russia, China, and Europe. "On my signal, redirect all satellites to these coordinates," he instructed. "We'll only get one shot at this." Engineers around the world prepared to follow his lead. The young Korean who had discovered the voidborn weakness was now leading Earth's last defense. The horizon destroyed 2 more planet crackers but took severe damage. Half the crew was dead or injured. Only Jisoo and a few others remained on the bridge. 2 planet crackers left, but we've lost most weapons, the weapons officer reported. Jisoo made a hard decision. Set collision course for the closest planet cracker. "Prepare to abandon ship." "Captain," her officer questioned. "Do it," she ordered. "Get everyone to escape pods." The voidborn fleet continued its attack on Earth. Cities burned. Millions died. But humans kept fighting. The evaluator prepared to celebrate victory when alarms sounded across the command ship. "Energy surge detected from Earth," a subordinate called out. "It's massive." On Earth, Taiwan gave the command. "All satellites, fire now." Thousands of satellites around Earth redirected their power into a single massive beam. The energy shot upward, directly at the voidborn main fleet. The horizon raced toward the 4th planet cracker on a collision course. Jisoo was the last one on board, making sure her crew escaped. For Earth, she whispered as she finally entered the last escape pod. The horizon crashed into the planet cracker, destroying both in a massive explosion. The shock wave damaged the 5th and final planet cracker, sending it off course. The evaluator watched in horror as Taiwan's satellite beam hit the voidborn fleet. Ship after ship lost power or exploded. "Retreat," the evaluator ordered. "All ships, retreat." The remaining voidborn vessels turned and fled toward the moon, then deeper into space. Earth had won the day, but at terrible cost. Deep in space, beyond the orbit of Mars, the damaged voidborn fleet regrouped. The evaluator stood before a large screen showing 3 shadowy figures, the high command of the voidborn empire. "You have failed," the center figure said. Its voice was cold and empty. "The humans have technology we did not expect," the evaluator replied. "They fight differently from other species." "Explain," ordered the figure on the left. The evaluator showed recordings of the battle. When other species face superior force, they surrender to save lives. Humans do the opposite. They fight harder when the situation seems hopeless. The high command was silent for a moment. "Your excuses do not matter," the right figure finally said. "Earth must be conquered. We are sending the extinction fleet." The evaluator felt a chill. The extinction fleet had destroyed 17 civilizations. No planet had ever survived its attack. "You are demoted," the center figure told the evaluator. "You will serve under the Eradicator when the extinction fleet arrives." The screen went dark. On Earth, rescue teams found Captain Jisoo's escape pod. She was alive but badly injured. In a hospital bed, she received a visit from Commander Do-hyun. "You saved us all," Do-hyun told her. "The final planet cracker missed Earth completely thanks to you." What about my crew? Jisoo asked weakly. Most escape pods were found. We lost 12 brave people, but 28 survived. Jisoo closed her eyes, feeling both relief and sadness. They'll come back, won't they? She asked. Yes, Do-hyun said. And next time, they'll send something worse. Soo-min worked day and night, studying the void-borne communications she had intercepted. Something important caught her attention. Dad, look at this, she told Do-hyun when he visited her lab. I found messages about other species that fought against the void-borne. Some are still resisting, hidden on conquered worlds. Do-hyun leaned closer to read the translations. This changes everything, he said. We're not alone in fighting them. At Voidborne High Command Headquarters, a giant space station at the edge of the galaxy, the Eradicator prepared the extinction fleet. The Eradicator had never failed a mission. 17 species had been wiped out or enslaved under its command. What makes these humans so difficult? The Eradicator asked the evaluator. They adapt quickly, the evaluator explained. They find our weaknesses and exploit them. And they never give up, even when defeat seems certain. All species have breaking points, the Eradicator said dismissively. We will find theirs. But deep inside, for the first time ever, the Eradicator felt a small worry. Something about these humans seemed different. Back on Earth, Taiwan made an important discovery while studying damaged voidborne technology recovered after the battle. Their ships all connect to a central network, he told Do-hyun and military leaders from around the world. If we could hack into it, we might control their weapons or shut down their shields. Can you do it? An American general asked. Not alone, Taiwan admitted. But if we gather the best hackers from every country, maybe we can. Do-hyun nodded. Make it happen. Soo-min continued her work on voidborne communications. She found something that shocked her. The voidborne are sending something called the extinction fleet to Earth, she told her father. From what I can translate, no planet has ever survived its attack. Instead of looking worried, Do-hyun smiled slightly. Then Earth will be the first, he said. He pulled up a map showing hidden military installations around the world. We've been preparing something special, he told his daughter. Something the voidborne could never expect. We call it Protocol Omega. What is it? Soo-min asked. Something so unconventional that even our allies questioned it, Do-hyun replied. But against an enemy like the voidborne, conventional warfare won't save us. As father and daughter looked at the map, a message came in. The extinction fleet had been detected entering the solar system. The final battle for Earth was about to begin. The extinction fleet entered Earth's orbit. It was massive, over 500 ships, each larger than any voidborne vessel seen before. At the center was the command ship, 10 miles long and shaped like a black spear. From his command center, Do-hyun watched the fleet fill the sky. So many, an officer whispered in fear. Numbers don't win battles, Do-hyun replied calmly. Begin Protocol Omega. Around the world, strange devices activated. They weren't weapons, at least not in the normal sense. Aboard the command ship, the Eradicator took control. Unlike other voidborne, the Eradicator had metallic parts replacing much of its body. Rewards for 17 successful conquests. Begin the methodical destruction, the Eradicator ordered. Target their power systems first, then communications, then military bases. The evaluator, now serving under the Eradicator, watched silently. Something bothered the evaluator about this mission, but questioning orders meant death in voidborne culture. Taiwan worked with hackers from 20 countries. They had one goal: break into the voidborne network. Their security is changing constantly, Taiwan said, frustrated. Every time we find a way in, it changes. An American hacker named Lisa looked up from her computer. What if we don't try to break through their strongest defenses? What if we look for a backdoor? Taiwan's eyes widened. The communication system, It has to be more open to receive signals from all ships. They changed their approach, focusing on the void-borne communication network. Captain Jisoo, still recovering from her injuries, insisted on joining the final battle. Doctors had told her to rest, but Earth needed every experienced commander. "I can't fly a ship," she admitted to Do-hyun, "but I can lead a team." Do-hyun nodded. "We need someone to infiltrate the Extinction Fleet's command ship." "That's impossible," Jisoo said. "Not with what Ta-1 is building," Do-hyun replied. "A small ship using void-borne technology we captured. It will read as one of theirs." Jisoo smiled for the first time since her rescue. "When do we leave?" The Extinction Fleet's attack began. Green beams more powerful than anything seen before hit Earth's shields. Cities shook. Shields that had held against the previous attack now failed within minutes. The Eradicator watched with satisfaction as Earth's defenses crumbled. "See how easy it is when proper force is applied," the Eradicator told the evaluator. "No species can stand against the Extinction Fleet." But something strange was happening. The Eradicator's screen showed Earth's satellites moving, forming a new pattern in orbit. "What are they doing?" the Eradicator demanded. "Unknown," a subordinate replied. "But it appears they're creating some kind of network around the planet." Ta-1 had succeeded. Earth's thousands of satellites were now linked, creating an energy web around the planet. It couldn't stop the void-borne weapons, but it wasn't meant to. "Network complete," Ta-1 reported to Do-hyun. "Ready when you are." Do-hyun gave the order. "Activate the pulse." The satellite network released an invisible pulse that spread across space. It wasn't a weapon. It was a signal. Aboard the Extinction Fleet ships, something unexpected happened. Screens began showing messages in the void-borne language. "You are not alone. Other species fight. Join us against your masters." The messages were broadcasting directly to the enslaved species serving on void-borne ships, beings conquered years ago and forced to serve. The evaluator watched in shock as fights broke out on multiple ships. The clever humans had found the one weakness the void-borne couldn't defend against, the resentment of those they had enslaved. Jisoo led a small team in the captured void-borne shuttle. Using the confusion caused by the rebellions, they approached the command ship undetected. "Remember," she told her team, "we plant the devices and leave. We have 15 minutes before they detonate." As they docked with the massive command ship, Jisoo looked back at Earth, beautiful, blue, and fighting for its life. "Let's make sure our home survives today," she said. The mission to destroy the heart of the Extinction Fleet had begun. Do-hyun stood in the command center as reports came in from around the world. Every nation was now following his battle plan. "American submarines are in position," an officer reported. "Russian space weapons ready. Chinese pulse cannons charge. European shield network at full power." For the first time in history, Earth fought as one. There were no countries now, only humans defending their home. "Begin synchronized attack," Do-hyun ordered. Around the world, weapons fired at exactly the same moment. They didn't aim randomly. Each targeted specific weak points on void-borne ships that Ta-1 had identified. In orbit, the satellite network created by Ta-1 activated its primary function. It wasn't just sending messages to enslaved aliens. It was also a massive energy weapon. A beam of blue light shot upward from the satellites, striking the Extinction Fleet's main shield generator. The shield flickered and failed. Inside the command ship, Jisoo and her team moved silently through dark corridors. They placed small devices at key locations: power junctions, engine controls, weapon systems. 5 minutes until detonation, Jisoo whispered to her team. "Head back to the shuttle." As they turned to leave, they heard a sound. A door opened, and the Eradicator stepped into the corridor. The Eradicator's partly mechanical body towered over the humans. 4 eyes focused on Jisoo. "The human who destroyed the planet Crackers," the Eradicator said. "I recognize you from the reports." Jisoo pushed her team behind her. "Run," she told them. "Get to the shuttle." She faced the Eradicator alone. On the bridge of the command ship, the evaluator watched in growing horror as Earth's forces inflicted serious damage on the extinction fleet. Ships that had conquered 17 worlds were now exploding or drifting powerless. "This is impossible," a Voidborn officer said. "No species has ever survived the extinction fleet." The evaluator looked at Earth on the main screen. These humans were unlike any species the Voidborn had faced. They didn't fight like others. They adapted, united, and found weaknesses no one else could see. An alarm sounded. Multiple explosives detected throughout the ship. Someone shouted. The Eradicator's voice came over the communication system. "Use the forbidden weapons. Destroy this system and everything in it." The evaluator knew what that meant. The forbidden weapons would kill everyone. Voidborn, humans, and the enslaved species serving on their ships. For the first time in a long career of conquest, the evaluator made a choice against the Voidborn Empire. Jisoo faced the Eradicator in the narrow corridor. She had no chance against this powerful being, but she only needed to buy time for her team to escape. "Why do you humans fight when you cannot win?" the Eradicator asked. "Because that's what humans do," Jisoo replied. "We never surrender our home." The Eradicator raised a weapon. "Your courage is admirable, but pointless." Suddenly, ship alarms blared. The corridor lights changed from blue to red. "Warning. Forbidden weapons activated," a voice announced. "Self-destruction imminent." The Eradicator turned in surprise. "Who authorized this?" The evaluator moved quickly, accessing the command ship's main computer. Years of service provided the needed codes to disable the forbidden weapons. But the evaluator didn't stop there. With quick commands, the evaluator sent Earth a complete file of Voidborn weaknesses, defense codes, and fleet positions. "What are you doing?" a shocked officer asked. "Choosing the right side," the evaluator replied. On Earth, Taiwan received the unexpected data. "Commander," he called to Do-hyun. "Someone from the command ship is sending us everything. Shield codes, weapon frequencies, engine vulnerabilities." Do-hyun didn't question this miracle. "Send it to all forces immediately." Within minutes, Earth's weapons adjusted to the new information. The effect was devastating. Voidborn ships that seemed invincible minutes before now exploded with single hits. Jisoo used the distraction to escape. She ran toward the shuttle as explosions rocked the command ship. On the bridge, the Eradicator realized the betrayal too late. "Find the evaluator. This is treason." But it was too late. The combined attack from Earth's forces and the explosives planted by Jisoo's team tore the command ship apart. The extinction fleet, undefeated for centuries, was falling to human determination. 1 month after the battle, Earth was still cleaning up the wreckage. Parts of Voidborn ships had fallen in oceans and deserts. Cities damaged in the fighting were being rebuilt. But for the first time in weeks, Commander Do-hyun was smiling. He stood in Seoul's Central Plaza, now renamed Victory Square, watching workers raise a monument to those who died defending Earth. "We lost many good people," he said to Sumin, who stood beside him. "But we saved our world." "And changed the universe," she added. She was right. News of Earth's victory was spreading across the galaxy. The Voidborn Empire, undefeated for thousands of years, had been beaten by a small blue planet they had expected to conquer easily. In a secure facility outside Seoul, the evaluator sat across from Captain Jisoo. The Voidborn who had betrayed its own kind was now Earth's most valuable source of information. "Why did you help us?" Jisoo asked. The evaluator's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "In all my years conquering worlds, I never saw a species fight like humans. You value each life, yet you're willing to sacrifice everything to protect your own. It made me question everything I believed." "What will the Voidborn do now?" "They've never failed before. They don't know how to respond," the evaluator said. but they will return someday. They must, or other worlds will follow Earth's example. Taiwan had become a global hero. His work with the satellite network had helped save Earth. Now, he led a team studying void-borne technology. Their faster-than-light drives can be adapted to our ships, he explained to world leaders. With this technology, we can reach other star systems in days instead of centuries. An American general asked, "How long until we can build ships with these drives?" "Using what we've learned." Taiwan smiled. "The first one launches next month." The room filled with amazed whispers. Earth had advanced centuries in just weeks. Jisoo, now Admiral Jisoo, stood on the bridge of Earth's newest ship, the ESS Phoenix. Built using void-borne technology, it was the most powerful vessel humans had ever created. "All systems ready, Admiral," her first officer reported. "Begin our mission," Jisoo ordered. The Phoenix rose from Earth, carrying representatives from every nation. Their mission: contact other species oppressed by the Voidborn and form alliances. As the ship reached orbit, Jisoo thought of Dr. Han and all who had sacrificed themselves. "We'll make you proud," she whispered. 6 months later, representatives from 7 alien species gathered in a grand hall built specially for this meeting. Each had suffered under Voidborn rule. Each had rebelled after hearing of Earth's victory. Do-hyun, now Supreme Commander of the United Earth Defense Force, addressed them. "Together, we can ensure the Voidborn never threaten any world again," he said. Soo-min, now Earth's top expert in alien languages, translated his words perfectly. A tall, blue-skinned alien stood. "For 1,000 years, my people were slaves. Now we are free, thanks to Earth. We stand with you against the Voidborn." One by one, each species pledged to join the alliance. On the former Voidborn homeworld, now a refuge for liberated species, a new government formed. In their council chamber, they placed a simple plaque with words in every language of their alliance. It read, "Remember Earth." It was both a warning and a thank you to the planet that taught the universe to fight back. Do-hyun stood on a hill outside Seoul, watching the sun set. Soo-min joined him, holding a communication device. "Admiral Jisoo reports the liberation of 3 more worlds," she told her father. "The Voidborn are retreating to the edge of the galaxy." Do-hyun nodded, pride filling his heart. "When they first attacked, they thought we were just another primitive species to conquer. That was their biggest mistake," Soo-min said with a smile. "Yes," Do-hyun agreed, looking up at the stars where Earth ships now traveled freely. "They attacked Earth and instantly regretted it." Above them, in the evening sky, the first stars became visible. No longer did they represent unknown threats. Now they were destinations, new friends, and a future where humanity stood tall among the stars. Earth had not just survived. Earth had changed the universe forever.